It's happening in every neighborhood.
Open the door! Who is he? Huh? This is why you really want to leave me.
No, I didn't.
Down every street. Sickness. Addiction. And violence has been turning countless homes into crime scenes. Suffering. Depressed. Alone. Suicidal.
Before I came to God, my life was like a complete mess. I was looking for something in the parties. I was looking to belong, and I used to go with my friends, and with that same group of friends we would then go out and we would terrorize people, we'll beat people up for literally no reason. Because I grew up quite aggressively, so I would also have my own fights where I wouldn't even want my friends to get involved. It was usually with girls, to do with guys, and especially when I felt like they were disrespecting me, then it would become a really big thing. I even put a girl in hospital once, and that was like the worst moment because they barged into my house looking for me, and my family were just really scared. I also used to steal. I used to steal quite a lot, and I would steal and I would sell everything for half price. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night at all. I would then have to go to school and sleep at school to compensate for the sleep I haven't had. Only when the sun came up then I might be able to get a few hours in, but that was me every single night. I was always scared. And when I could, I would watch pornography until I could go to bed. And if I couldn't, then I would just do it during the day. And I did that for like 7 years. And it just changed the way I saw people. And that was my life before I came to God. My life has changed a lot. I don't watch pornography anymore. That was one of the hardest things to stop doing, but it was one of the first things I did stop. I don't fight anymore, I don't go to parties, I don't look for happiness in places where I know I'm not gonna find it. My family's changed, we've come together. A lot of things have changed. Even my finances has changed as well. I managed to buy a car that I really love, and something it's always been the car I wanted as my first car. I also got a really good job, and there's progression for my career, and they're offering to pay for my studies as well, so everything's going really well.
The worst moment in my life is when I see myself going deep down, and I go so high into using drugs, and I see myself in a deep, big hole when I found out I'm in a crack cocaine. I used to use so many drugs, and I know I don't believe in myself anymore. I start put myself down. I think I'm never gonna win anything. And when I came to this church, my life started change step by step. More I came, more I feel the difference when I come out. I never forget that person when they came to me and say, "No, we believe in you, Jeff." And that lifted me up a lot because nobody come to me like that. It just put me down all the time. And when I started using my faith, learning, and put in practice everything they told me to do, my life started changed completely. And now I'm a happy person, I have a good job, I have a good life, now I'm engaged and I'm gonna get married soon, and I'm a so happy person now, and we believe in you as well.
Very good evening, welcome to your program Problems and Solutions. It's a pleasure to be with you. And we start already this program to show to you stories of people that overcame, people who suffer, like perhaps you are suffering, but you saw what God did in their lives. And what God did in these people's lives, He wants to do it as well in yours. You know, God is performing miracles in our days. You know, when you take the Bible, you see the stories of the past, you see the miracles that Jesus performed in the past. But today, in 2022, God is still performing miracles. And the proof of that is the testimonies that you saw, this testimony that you saw, and the testimonies that you're going to see now. And if you want to talk to us in this moment, we have our lines open. You can contact us, you can text us, you can speak with someone, and we have the pleasure to speak with you. Let's continue watching stories, miracles that God has performed nowadays.
The depression really started when I was a child. When I was 5 years old, my father abandoned my family, and my mom had a very tough time, and we grew up struggling, and over time things just got worse and worse, and I was not really prepared when I went out on my own to be a responsible adult. And as the years went by, things built up and built up and built up, and the depression just got worse and worse. And I had a giant empty space inside me that I felt like was never filled. The outer part of me looked fine, but the inside part of me was in bad shape. It was like somebody with a terminal illness, but no one could see it. It escalated to the point where I was extremely suicidal.
Kimberly was so depressed that she would constantly hear a voice in her head.
That voice would say, if you would just do it, if you would just do it, the pain would stop. The pain will go away if you kill yourself. If you really just want peace, just kill yourself.
That voice led Kimberly to believe that she wanted to commit suicide, so she tried.
I remember when I was in 8th grade, I took an entire bottle of some pills I found in my parents' house. The entire bottle. And luckily, I just threw them all up. My stomach couldn't handle it. It just didn't work.
That was the first time Kimberly tried to commit suicide. With no result, Kimberly tried a second and third time.
I totaled my car. It was destroyed, absolutely destroyed. It was flattened. I remember at the scene of the accident, waking up with blood running down my face and thinking how terrible I'm still here. I put a pistol in my mouth twice and tried to kill myself, 2 different times. The first time, I remember, it was dawn, and I had been up all night, crying the entire night, and I couldn't take it anymore. And I just couldn't do it. I just didn't have, I don't know, something kept stopping me the first time. The second time, I put a pistol in my mouth, and I actually tried to pull the trigger, and the gun didn't work.
Not knowing how to escape the pain even after attempts to commit suicide, Kimberly decided to take the invitation of a friend.
I actually came because someone that I had known for a long time invited me. And I actually came to support someone else I knew that was sick. I thought, well, if they're sick, I'll come and I'll try to pray for them and see if I can help them in their life. And that was the irony of it. I didn't even come for myself. I came to try to support somebody else who had started coming, who needed to come, who was sick. But it was the best thing I ever did. It changed my life. I would be dead. There's no doubt in my mind I would be dead right now if I had not come in this church. I came on a Friday to the service of liberation. That was the first service. And I kept coming, and little by little, I started coming on Wednesday nights, I started coming on Sundays, and I realized I couldn't do it by myself. And I put my life in His hands, and that's when things really started to change.
After learning how to use her faith in a practical way, Kimberly became a miracle.
I don't have that empty feeling I had on the inside that's full. It's full of the Holy Spirit, and I'm happy. I feel happy on the inside. What you see on the outside is how I am on the inside. So I really am happy now. Before I used to pretend. Now I don't have to pretend I'm happy. I actually feel happy. At one point, about 1.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and there's no cure for that. It just gets worse and worse. I went to the altar, I started a chain of prayer, and 1.5 weeks later, it was totally gone. I was totally healed. I quit my job, and now I have a job I love, absolutely love. I am truly happy because I found the man of my dreams. And we got married last December in a holy pact with God, and I am very, very happy. My name is Kimberly Garcia, and I am a miracle.
every day our human bodies need cleaning. However, there is another body that also needs cleaning, the spiritual one. For this is where curses, plagues, envy, and so many other evils are inhabited. Only when there is a washing away of all spiritual impurities is it possible to then truly have a fulfilling life. If you need to get rid of all the impurity and negative energy in your life, prepare for the novena of the bath with the blessed water from Israel. For 9 Fridays, we shall give you water that has been blessed at 9 holy sites in Israel. This is so that you might be totally and completely delivered.
My anger started of an argument between my dad and my mum constantly. I was 6 years old and my parents would be arguing every night, and they split for a period of 6 weeks, and I'd be staying with my mum, but I'll have an anger building inside of me because I'll be having a grudge, that thinking that it was her fault that my parents had broke up. And when they got back together, my mum was pregnant with a little sister that I was gonna have, but she died at birth, which brought up more anger inside of me. I came to this church where they gave me practical advice, prayers that helped me to overcome this anger problem. They also taught about faith, how your faith can do anything. So I believe that my faith can help me do the impossible by making me controlled, not being angry no more. Today, my impossible has become possible because my anger that I thought I wasn't going to get rid of is now gone. I'm now a happier person.
You know, this is the proof that miracles are not something of the past. Like the Bible says, God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So let me tell you eyes to eyes. What you have to lose by coming and join us. What you have to lose by standing up from wherever you are and say, I'm going there. Let's see if what they are talking is true. Let me see if this God is true. And surely that when you give your step of faith, God is able to transform your situation. Tomorrow is the day of deliverance. Tomorrow, Friday, is the day that we fight for spiritual deliverance. And if you want our help, you who suffer with constantly headache, insomnia, depression, you hear voices, you see shadows, you give one step forward, two behind, everything is blocked in your life, you don't know what to do with your problems, I challenge you to come and join us. And you're going to see that God is still performing miracles. You will be the next testimony. What you have to lose? Nothing. And you know what is interesting about all? This is for free. You don't need to pay anything. Because maybe you have been even spending lots of money to try to get rid of your problem. But God bless you, change your life for free. You just need to come and surrender yourself in His hands. Okay? Here in Stockholm, Friday, 7 p.m. Birger Jarlsgatan 106. We are very close to the t-bana Tekniska. Tomorrow, Friday, is the day of deliverance. If you are watching me in Göteborg, we are there on Sunday at 2 p.m. at the Ringögatan 13 Infart 7. Actually, we have a service 12:30 and also the main service at 2 p.m. And you are our guest to join us. For more information, visit our website, uckg.se. Tomorrow we'll be back with another program and with more testimonies. Until tomorrow, may God bless you.
I'm not leaving this hospital until I know what's wrong with my daughter.
You want out? That's fine with me!
This program is brought to you by UCKG.